books. I don't know which episode this is. New book arrivals number 260 million. But we'll start off with this one. We got some boobs here. A Handbook of Greek Mythology, H.J. Rose. A lovely Rubenesque woman and a whatever that is, metrosexual. A major authoritative guide to the world of classic myth and epic. A Dutton paperback. I always love the mass market paperbacks, especially when they're non-Janet Ivanovich and that sort of fucking shit. But yeah, this would be a good little guide for the mythology. With a lovely cover. Young Torless by Robert Musil. Never heard of this one, but the cover was too good to pass this one up. Can't remember. Oh yeah, I bought this at the one thrift store where the paperbacks are only a quarter. So there's something in this one about erotic something or other with fellow students at a military boarding school. So I hope it's not something. But who knows? I like the cover. I don't care what it's about. Great cover. Plus, it came along with Shadows of Young or Sorrows of Young Werther. So, we got two books about Youngs. Da Jungs. How to Uncover Your Past Lives. Which is absolute bollocks. But we are not against reincarnation here, if you want to believe it. I know that one of my favorite characters was a believer in mythology. That was Gundella the Witch. Of course, she was a witch, and you must be a proponent of reincarnation to be a witch. Considered a classic witch, not one of these, what do they call them? Wiccans. How to Uncover Your Past Lives. You may wish to use the Wheel of Life. I do not wish to use the Wheel of Life, bruv. Knowledge of your past lives can reveal exciting insights into your relationships, career, and health. It can answer the nagging question, why is this always happening to me? It can open you to new depths within your psychological makeup, bruv. Oh, look. We got some people. Juliana Gomez. Hello. How are you? Tom Wolfe, The Electric Kool-Aid Acid Test. Author of the Bonfire of the Vanities. Hey, bro. You... Please, I am Colombian. Yeah, I don't speak Spanish. I'm great, buddy. De donde eres? That's all I know. And I don't even know what it means. Well, there you go. There's some Spanish for you. Fuck it. Be wonka wonka bwanka blam. Fuck it. A wonka. Fuck it, friends. Great, brubs. How are you? There's Tom Wolfe. A guy you would not expect to write that book. Across 5 Aprils by Irene Hunt. The unforgettable, deeply moving story of the 5 fateful years of the Civil War. And the main reason why I bought this, not only because it's vintage, and it's got this little cool tempo books thing on it, but that it is April now, so I don't know if is that when the Civil War started in April. I don't know when the Civil War started, if I'm completely honest. But this is a nice little copy of that book. Scholastic, I believe. No, it's Tempo. Agatha Christie, Cards on the Table, a Hercule Poirot mystery. The dinner party was the most diabolical that Hercule Poirot had ever attended, complete with a scheming host and a menu of menace. Poirot was told beforehand that each of the invited guests was a murderer who had successfully escaped detection, and the occasion promised the proof that perfect crime could pay. You're from fucking, I'll guess Turkey. Mom, happy birthday. Love, Paul. What do Turkeyans call themselves? People from Turkey. Turkeyans, Turkeyites, Turks. Is that all you are? Just Turks? Jean-Paul Sartre, Nausea. I believe this is a play, right? He was a philosopher, and I believe this is a play, but I could be wrong. Kafka, clearly untenable. I don't know. I believe it's a play. Fiction. Jean-Paul Sartre, philosopher, critic, novelist, and dramatist, holds a position of singular eminence in the world of French letters. Among readers and critics familiar with the whole of Sartre's work, it is generally recognized that his earliest novel, La Nausée, first published in 1938, is his finest and most significant. It is unquestionably a key novel of the 20th century and a landmark in existentialist fiction. Kind of looks like Tennessee Williams kind of fucking shit. Fathers and Sons by Ivan Turgenev. I believe that's how it's pronounced. Don't know. It's kind of beat up. What's this say? Russian 109, 19. Does that say 109B in this winter 1968? Oh, that's for the Russian class, I assume. I always like these mass market paperback covers. They're great. Oh, we're missing the whole fucking top of this back cover, but whatever. It's all good. Just a reading copy to have. To have and to hold. Now, this is a cool little book I found today at the thrift store. Half of these books I found last week, at the end of last week. Or last Tuesday, but I didn't post them because this is 1967. I thought it was older, but it's a nice little pocket size, which is smaller than the mass market paperback. But it's got a cool cover. Jonathan Swift. Gulliver's Travels, the world famous adventure classic, has now been made into a breathtaking movie. The Three Worlds of Gulliver. In Gulliver's Travels, Jonathan Swift wrote a lusty and uproarious tale of adventure that has delighted readers of all ages since 1796. Damn, it was written that long ago. Thought for sure it was the 1800s, but shows you what I know. Jonathan Swift. Great cover, right? Selected stories of Franz Kafka. 15 of Kafka's best-known stories, including The Metamorphoses in the Penal Colony and The Great Wall of China. Obviously, a modern library copy with a nice dust jacket. I don't think it has any bookstore stamps on the back. It does not. Open some of these old modern libraries. It shows you the whole list of what was available at the time. Wonder how many people actually cut this out. It's a travesty to cut that out. Look how they were spelling Chekhov back in the day. Tchekob. I never understood why they continuously change the spelling of names like that, but they do. Just like Kiev is now Kiev. Makes no sense. That's what it is. What year? 1952, perhaps? Josephine the Singer or the Mouse Boke. Here's the next book I'm probably going to read on here, but The Sorrows of Young Werther, the new Melusina and Navelle. Obviously, I like it that this girl's name's, or maybe it's not a girl's name, Vili Tarut-Havi. That young Werther is broken up into basically letters, and I shall read them on those dates. How novel I am. I have made all sorts of acquaintances. I don't want to read any of it. I don't want to know what it's about. Budding Prospects, a pastoral by T. Corrigeson Boyle, otherwise known as T.C. Boyle. This is a kind of a vintage copy of it. What's this? To Bob. Who's it from, Carol? Just to prove that there are worse ways to make a living. Have a safe trip, Carol. Thanks, Carol. I didn't know she personalized it for me. This is from 1984. That's pretty vintage. It's at almost 41 years now. I don't think I have this among my collection of T. Corrigeson Boyle, which I would not have a collection of if someone would have bought the whole selection that I have on hand, which is about 8 or 9 books of his. But when I listed them, no one wanted them, so I still have a collection of them. Willa Cather, Death Comes for the Archbishop. Vintage classics. Obviously, I think her most famous is My Antonia, but I could be wrong. Oh, Pioneers might be the most famous. When did she die? She died in 47. There you go. Almost 75 years ago now. D-Day. And the only reason why I got it because it signifies Armageddon of sorts. The Battle for Normandy. There was other D-Day books there today, but I just said no. I can only get one. That's all I need. I don't really care about World War II. I think it was a pointless war. Although Hitler supposedly was going to take over the planet, there's no way he could have kept hold on the entire place without being overthrown at some point, but there you go. The Queen of Fashion, Caroline Weber, or is it Weber? I looked up Caroline, and as you can see, she signed this copy, and she teaches at Columbia now, I think, but there was something of how she is a Christian, apparently, so that was a shock to her when she went to Columbia with all the atheism there. Hey, I'm an atheist. I'm going to tell you all the stuff I don't believe in and why you're wrong. These are actually some nice illustrations. Where'd they come from, bruv? I like them. When France joined forces with the American revolutionaries, Marie Antoinette showed her support by wearing a pouf à la belle poule, an intricate hairdo displaying a French fatigue that won a key victory against the British in June 1778. That's a fucking... There's no way there was that... She had a whole ship on her hair. If she did, that's fucking brilliant. The fuck? I got a ship on my head. I put the entire ship in me head. Yeah, Queen of Fashion. What Marie Antoinette wore to the revolution. Juno Jordan's Numerology, The Romance in Your Name. I feel like there's something inside there. What is this? What we got in there, bruv? Oh no, Cynthia. We won't show her last. I already showed her last name, but I guess you're not going to go find her anyways. Truman. That's all this. This is all the shit. Robert Truman. I guess she was trying to figure out what was going on with her life here. Pinnacle, etc. So yeah, this is just numerology, figuring out shit in your life through a specious numbering system. The Pinnacle's timing the future, your personal year number. Apparently either a rat or someone got a hold of that. Foreign Affairs, a journal of the Council on Foreign Relations, which is one of the bodies controlling the planet. People will tell you, no, they're just a think tank, but no, they're controlling the planet because they write basically what they are going to do for the next 50 years in this periodical. The American public is willing to experiment with winding down the Cold War, but this new thinking in America differs in at least one important respect from Mikhail Gorbachev's new thinking about Soviet-American relations. Gorbachev seems to want to make changes swiftly. Americans insist upon proceeding cautiously, testing Soviet good faith at each step. The average American wants to explore new possibilities, but cannot easily brush aside 40 years of hostility and mistrust. All right. $0.50. The Royal Bastards of Medieval New England. Yeah, the medieval fucking bastards of medieval. I can't even talk. The Royal Bastards of Medieval England. By Chris Given someone and Alice someone. You can see the special value tag, which means nobody wanted this book when it came out. And that would explain why it was at the library as a book, which I overpaid for, $2, but just because it has bastard in the title, I had to get it. Gervais of Blois. This would be an easy read, I think. 180 pages or so. Yeah. This might be a good book to read on this channel. It seems like it's got short chapters. Does that say allegations of bastardry? Yeah. Allegations of bastardy. Bastardy. Is it bastardy or bastardy? Henry the First's bastards. Marriage and divorce. You bastards. Theater of the People. Spectators in society in ancient Athens. Obviously, Greek history of some sort. Tragedy offstage, suffering and sympathy in ancient Athens. Are the same guy? No. Must be some form of series. Another book I paid $2 for, but I only had a $10 bill at the library, and they charged $2 for hardcover, which is usually $1.50 more than I'll pay, but I didn't feel like going to the counter and asking them to break a 10, so I just bought 3 or 4 of these $2 books and then a couple $1 books, and it's basically a donation. Not that the book isn't worth $2. It could be worth $100 as far as I know, but I didn't look it up. It lists for 55, so at worst it's probably worth 10. At best, it could be 100. Fatima Priest by Francis Alban with Christopher A. Ferrara, Esquire. It's weird that people don't consider these Fatima sightings. What the hell is this? Some kind of fucking paper or cotton or what the fuck? Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, it won't go away. It likes to be here. The layman blocking the stairway abruptly flew after and seized Father Gruner, throwing him against the wall. The shocking sound of a ripping priestly cassock mocked the moment. A second assailant grabbed him, spun him around, and again threw him against the wall. So yeah, I'm kind of mystified why people don't take these supposed sightings of Fatima or whatever it is she does, but they'll take ghost sightings at face value. Another interesting book, The Two Eyes of the Earth, Art and the Ritual of Kingship Between Rome and Sasanian Iran. Look at that. That's fucking brilliant. Don't know what this book's worth either. University of California Press. Another book I paid $2 for. I probably could have gone without buying it, but like I said, I only had a 10, and I wasn't in the mood to deal with Abbas. History, bruv. History. The Map Maker's Wife, Robert Whitaker. A true tale of love, murder, and survival in the Amazon. Wasn't going to get it, but it was, I believe, a Victorian era, so that intrigued me. This lady, whoever she is, either murdered somebody or was murdered. What's it say? The year is 1755. A decade-long expedition to South America is launched by a team of French scientists racing to measure the circumference of the Earth and to reveal the mysteries of a little-known continent to a world hungry for discovery and knowledge. From this extraordinary journey arose an unlikely love between one scientist and a beautiful Peruvian noblewoman. Victims of a tangled web of international politics, Jean Gaudin and Isabel Gramison's destiny would ultimately unfold in the Amazon's unforgiving jungles. And it wouldn't be Isabel's quest to reunite with Jean after a calamitous 20-year separation that would capture the imagination of all 18th century Europe, a remarkable testament to human endurance. It would be Isabel's quest. Isabel Gramison's survival remains unprecedented in the annals of Amazon exploration. I was seized, bruv. Where are you now? Pierre Buggery. See if we can find that part. Along the Chagres River. All right, a little more. Bringers of the Dawn, Teachings from the Pleiadians. Barbara Marciniak. Compiled from more than 400 hours of channeling by Barbara Marciniak, Bringers of the Dawn imparts to us the wisdom of the Pleiadians. The Pleiadians, a group of enlightened beings who have come to Earth to help us discover how to reach a new stage of evolution. Master storytellers and humorists, they advise us to become media-free, to work in teams, and to eliminate the words should and try from our vocabularies. We learn how to go beyond fear, how the original human was a magnificent being with 12 strands of DNA and 12 chakra centers, and who our gods are. Right. That's actually a pretty good seller, although it's only worth about $6 or $7. 1453. The Holy War for Constantinople and the Clash of Islam and the West by Roger Crowley. Not in great shape, but a book I've never seen before, so I picked it up. 2005. I really don't buy many books on Islam just because it's such a contentious topic, and there's so many of them, and most deal with terrorism and religion, which aren't interests of mine. But over 1,000 years, Constantinople had been the center of the Western world and the defense of Christianity against Islam. But in 1453, Mehmet II, Sultan of the Ottoman Empire, rallied the forces of Islam, determined to take the city by siege. Armed with new weaponry, 80,000 Muslims in April 1453 began their strike against the mere 8,000 Christian troops, led by Constantine XI, the 57th Emperor of Byzantium. After weeks of constant bombardment, the city fell and the world changed, marking the end of Byzantium and the end of the medieval world. Impeccably researched, 1453 is a vivid, intense tale of courage and cruelty, of technological ingenuity, endurance, and luck. But it is also the story of this moment and the crucial link it provides in the chain of events that connects the historic confrontations of the Mideast to the modern world. Great. The Theban plays of Sophocles, Oedipus Rex, Oedipus at Colonus, and Antigone. Books in almost new condition, so why wouldn't I pick it up? Don't believe I have anything by Antigone. And it was only 50 cents, so I've passed this one up numerous times at the thrift store that I usually go to, which today raised their prices to $1 for hardcover, which I was not pleased about, but oh well. 'Tis what it is. Brother Man, The Odyssey of Black Men in America, an anthology. Winner of the American Book Award. Pretty crooked binding, eh? Charles W. Chestnut, the wife of his youth. Golden Park Shannon. Hannibal Jones hadn't gone to Fisk University to become a redcap. He wanted something much better. He had landed his present job 2 months after the fire at Maud's place. Seems to be an anthology of fiction, maybe? The Forefathers, the Griots voice. Strong men. Let the dead bury their dead. John Muir, Lives to Remember, Prophet Among the Glaciers, by Robert Silverberg. Say withdrawn by WSU, which I assume is Wayne State University. Yeah, it is Wayne State University Library. Published 1972. John Muir, Prophet Among the Glaciers. Obviously, he was a conservationist in California. Don't really know much about him other than that. I think he founded what's that called? Not the Audubon. What the hell was that called? The Sierra Club, maybe. Maybe I'm wrong. Washable, color fast, Life of the Sheets. Guaranteed for the life of the sheets. Putnam. Guaranteed binding. These papers will last. Covers will... Look at that guy. He's pretty pissed. Obviously, it must be like an encyclopedic thing where they issued different volumes and different important peeps. Alone, Admiral Richard E. Byrd, the classic story of his greatest adventure, 50th anniversary edition. Donald F. Levertor, Ross Drive, Redford, Michigan. Let's see what this is. Nothing. Richard Byrd, Island Press, Covello, California, 1938. Republished in 1984. It's got Foxine on it, as you can see. June 11th, The Struggle. June 1st, The Despair. Yeah, he went to the North Pole in 1934. Cool. Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. Book I've never read, but I have about 12 copies of it now. I only get different editions, so unless it's like an old book, I'd obviously get multiple copies of a antique book, but this is probably 1990s, maybe even early 2000s. Barnes and Noble Classics, 2003. Those 1940 Detroit Tigers by John C. Fountain. The story of a trio of Hall of Famers with Birdie, Barney, Bobo, Schoolboy, and Pinky Higgins. Obviously not a well-documented book, but more or less a recap of the season by John C. Fountain. Not to say he didn't document it or research it, but he didn't. I guess he didn't document it since there's only 128 pages. Herzl, as I remember him, by Erwin Rosenberger. As I said, my local thrift stores are now charging $1 for hardcover. So I normally probably wouldn't get this, but once I saw that he was basically the famed founder of political Zionism, which is a hot topic, I had no choice but to get it. Only it pisses somebody off. It will come in handy. Personally, I don't know what Zionism's all about, but maybe it's just in favor of the Zions, which I believe are Jewish. The Zionist Weekly. What is the actual credo of Zionism? I couldn't tell you. Let's get this tape off here. I have a nice dust jacket once I do. Just don't want it on there. Can you come off, bruv? It'd be nice if you would. Please? Oh, yes. He's coming off, bruv. But is it going to be without leaving residue? No. There's no residue. There you go. And finally, last but not least, The Psychic, which I believe is composed of several books by this one author. Psychics, Past and Present by Vernon W. Overley, who also signed it with H. Drummond. Book 1 is Psychics, Past and Present. Book 2, The Dead Speak. Gotta get that. I mean, you can't pass something like this up. Plus, it's signed. I saw a copy was sold for $20. My name is Henry Drummond. I died in 1897, but I live on the in the world of spirit. Is where we who have died live. What the fuck is this? We have left our physical bodies behind and now lead an interesting life. Do ya? We are drawn back to our families and loved ones, but are unable to affect them. Right then. I guess that's all. That's all, bruv. Cheers.